Question 1. Topic: Replacement cost versus actual cash value (SEV). A homeowner's roof, which was installed 15 years ago, is severely damaged in a storm. The original cost of the roof was $15,000, and due to depreciation, the current value is $8,000. The replacement cost for a new roof today is $18,000. The homeowner has a home insurance policy with replacement cost coverage for the dwelling and actual cash value (SEV) coverage for personal property. How much will the insurance company pay to replace the roof? A. $8,000. B. $15,000. C. $18,000. D. $12,000. Answer: C. $18,000. Explanation: replacement cost coverage means the insurer pays the cost to replace the damaged property with a new item of similar kind and quality without considering depreciation. Since the homeowner's policy covers the dwelling at replacement cost, the insurance company will pay $18,000, the cost to replace the roof today. Had the policy used actual cash value (SEV), the insurer would only pay the depreciated amount, which is $8,000 in this case. SEV accounts for depreciation, while replacement cost does not. Wisconsin insurance laws mandate that the terms and conditions of replacement cost and SEV coverage be clearly defined in policies, particularly regarding dwelling and personal property coverages. The key legal distinction is that replacement cost restores the insured to the financial position prior to the loss without deduction for depreciation, as outlined in Wisconsin Statute 628.34 concerning fair claims practices. Question 2. Topic: Personal liability coverage. Which of the following scenarios would most likely be covered under a standard homeowner's policy's personal liability coverage? Coverage E. A. A neighbor's tree falls and damages the insured's fence. B. The insured's dog bites a passerby while on a walk. C. The insured's son damages the neighbor's car while learning to drive. D. The insured's roof collapses due to neglect and causes injury to a visitor. Answer: B. The insured's dog bites a passerby while on a walk. Explanation: personal liability coverage, coverage E, protects the insured from legal liability for bodily injury or property damage they cause to others. In this case, if the insured's dog bites a passerby, the liability coverage will help pay for medical expenses and legal costs, as well as potential settlements or judgments. Option A relates to property damage to the insured's own property, which would fall under dwelling or other structures coverage, not liability. Option C is not covered by homeowners liability insurance, as auto-related incidents are generally covered by auto insurance. Option D involves negligence in home maintenance, which may fall under exclusions for wear and tear or neglect in home insurance policies. Wisconsin statutes governing homeowners insurance provide specific guidance on liability coverage exclusions and limits, especially for intentional acts and negligence, which would likely apply to scenario D. Question 3. Scenario-based. Topic: Claims process and adjusting. Scenario: Mr. Thompson, a Wisconsin homeowner, discovers significant water damage in his basement after a heavy storm. He contacts his insurance company to file a claim. During the claim process, he realizes he did not inform the insurer about a sump pump failure, which contributed to the flooding. His policy includes a water backup and sump pump overflow endorsement. The insurance adjuster is now assessing the damage. What should Mr. Thompson do to ensure the claim is properly handled? A. Wait for the adjuster to estimate the total loss and accept the initial settlement. B. Inform the adjuster of the sump pump failure and provide documentation for repair estimates. C. Repair the damage immediately and submit receipts after the fact. D. Hire an independent adjuster to negotiate with the insurer on his behalf. Answer: B. Inform the adjuster of the sump pump failure and provide documentation for repair estimates. Explanation: under Wisconsin insurance law, insureds are required to cooperate with their insurer during the claims process. This includes providing all relevant information and documentation regarding the cause of the damage. Since Mr. Thompson's policy has a water backup and sump pump overflow endorsement, the insurer may cover damages resulting from the sump pump failure, but they need to know about it. Providing repair estimates and necessary documentation helps ensure transparency and a fair settlement. Option A may lead to an undervalued settlement if Mr. Thompson does not disclose critical details. Option C could violate the terms of the policy if repairs are made without the insurer's consent. Option D is unnecessary at this stage if the claim process is being followed correctly. This scenario highlights the importance of Wisconsin's claims reporting requirements and the duty of the insured to mitigate damage and cooperate, as per Wisconsin Administrative Code in 6.11 concerning claims handling practices. Question 4. Topic: Coinsurance clause. A homeowner's property is insured for $200,000. The insurance policy contains an 80% coinsurance requirement and the home's replacement cost is $300,000. If the homeowner suffers a loss of $90,000, how much will the insurer pay, assuming the homeowner meets the coinsurance requirement? A. $60,000. B. $75,000. C. $80,000. D. $90,000. Answer: C. $80,000. Explanation: under the coinsurance clause, the insured must carry coverage equal to a specified percentage, in this case 80% of the property's replacement cost, to receive full compensation for partial losses. The formula to calculate payment under a coinsurance requirement is payment equals amount of insurance carried required insurance x loss amount. The required insurance is 80% of the replacement cost, or $240,000, $300,000 times 0.80. Since the homeowner is only insured for $200,000, if failed to meet the coinsurance requirement, the insurer will only pay a portion of the loss, $200,000 to $140,000 equals 0.8333, 0.8333 x 90,000 equals 75,000. However, the deductible must also be factored in. Assuming the deductible is $1,000, the insurer will pay $80,000. Wisconsin coinsurance laws require clear communication of the penalties for underinsuring as outlined in Wisconsin Statute 631.43. Question 5. Topic: ordinance or law coverage. Which of the following losses would most likely be covered under an ordinance or law endorsement in a Wisconsin home insurance policy? A. Costs to upgrade a home to current building codes after a partial loss. B. Replacement of worn-out roofing that does not meet current building codes. C. Damages caused by an earthquake in a non-earthquake zone. D. A liability lawsuit due to a slip and fall accident on the insured's property. Answer: A. Costs to upgrade a home to current building codes after partial loss. Explanation: ordinance or law endorsements cover the increased cost to rebuild or repair a home following a covered loss so that it meets current building codes. If part of the house is damaged and the undamaged portion also needs to be brought up to code, this endorsement will pay for those costs. Option B refers to routine maintenance, which is not covered by insurance. Option C would require earthquake insurance, and Option D relates to liability coverage, not ordinance or law coverage. Wisconsin regulations require insurers to explain the limitations of coverage, especially regarding building code compliance, which is detailed in Wisconsin Administrative Code in 6.85. Question 6. Scenario-based. Topic: animal liability coverage. Scenario: Mrs. Peterson's dog, a breed known to be aggressive, escapes from her yard and bites a delivery person on her property. The delivery person requires medical treatment and threatens to sue for damages. Mrs. Peterson has a homeowner's policy with personal liability coverage, but no specific exclusions for dog breeds. What is likely to happen under her policy? A. The insurance will deny coverage due to the dog's breed. B. The insurance will pay for the medical treatment, but not any lawsuits. C. The insurance will cover both medical expenses and legal defense, subject to policy limits. D. The insurance will only pay a portion of the claim, as the dog was on the insured's property. Answer: C. The insurance will cover both medical expenses and legal defense, subject to policy limits. Explanation: personal liability coverage typically includes animal liability unless the breed is specifically excluded in the policy. Since Mrs. Peterson's policy does not have exclusions for dog breeds, the insurer will cover both the delivery person's medical expenses and Mrs. Peterson's legal defense if a lawsuit is filed up to the policy limits. Wisconsin insurance statutes and liability coverage requirements do not allow arbitrary exclusions unless they are clearly defined in the policy. Option A would only apply if the breed were explicitly excluded, and Option B would be incorrect because liability coverage typically includes both medical payments and legal defense. Option D misunderstands the nature of liability. The dog's location on or off the property is irrelevant if liability coverage applies. Question 7. Topic: perils and hazards. A standard homeowner's policy excludes certain perils. Which of the following is most likely not covered under a typical Wisconsin homeowner's policy without special endorsements? A. Fire damage caused by a malfunctioning heater. B. Theft of personal property from the insured's home. C. Flood damage to the insured's basement. D. Smoke damage caused by a nearby wildfire. Answer: C. Flood damage to the insured's basement. Explanation: flooding is generally excluded from standard homeowners policies and requires separate flood insurance, often provided through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). Fire, theft, and smoke damage are covered under most standard homeowners policies. Wisconsin residents living in flood-prone areas are advised to purchase flood insurance separately as mandated by federal flood insurance guidelines and reinforced in Wisconsin floodplain management regulations. Question 8. Topic: Guest medical and negligence coverage. A guest slips and falls on a wet kitchen floor in the insured's home, injuring their back. The homeowner's policy includes medical payments coverage, coverage F. How will this coverage apply? A. Coverage F will only pay if the insured is found negligent. B. Coverage F will pay the guest's medical expenses regardless of fault. C. Coverage F will not apply if this is a personal liability claim. D. Coverage F will only apply if the injury occurs outside the home. Answer: B. Coverage F will pay the guest's medical expenses regardless of fault. Explanation: medical payments to others. Coverage F covers minor injuries to guests on the insured's property regardless of fault or negligence. It's intended to prevent small claims from escalating into lawsuits by covering medical expenses quickly. Coverage is not dependent on proving the insured's liability, which distinguishes it from personal liability coverage, coverage E. This principle is enshrined in Wisconsin insurance laws as part of the broader consumer protection and fairness standards outlined in the Wisconsin insurance statutes and administrative codes. Question 9. Topic: Dwelling policy forms. D or DPA 2, DPA 3. Which of the following policy forms provides the broadest coverage for a single-family rental property in Wisconsin? A. D1, B. DPA 2, C. DPA 3, D. Height. Answer: C. DPA 3. Explanation: the DPA 3 dwelling fire policy form provides open peril coverage for the dwelling, meaning all risks are covered except those specifically excluded in the policy. It offers the broadest coverage compared to DPA 1 and DPA 2, which offer named peril coverage, D1 being the most basic with limited perils, and DPA 2 offering broader named perils, but still less comprehensive than DPA 3. Height is typically used for older homes and provides limited coverage, often using actual cash value rather than replacement cost. Wisconsin law mandates that policyholders be informed of the differences between named peril and open peril coverage forms as outlined in Wisconsin Statute 631.85. Question 10. Topic: Loss of use. Coverage D. If a Wisconsin homeowner is temporarily displaced from their home due to a covered peril and must rent an apartment, which part of their home insurance policy would likely cover the additional living expenses? A. Coverage A, B. Coverage B, C. Coverage D, D. Coverage F. Answer: C. Coverage D. Explanation: coverage D, loss of use, covers the additional living expenses that the insured incurs while their home is being repaired or rebuilt after a covered loss. This includes costs like hotel stays, renting an apartment, or increased food costs. Coverage A covers the dwelling itself, coverage B covers other structures on the property, and coverage F relates to medical payments to others. Wisconsin's insurance regulations require that the terms of loss of use coverage be clearly defined in policy contracts, ensuring that homeowners understand what expenses are covered and for how long, as stipulated in Wisconsin Administrative Code in 6.41. Question 11. Topic: Replacement cost versus actual cash value. A homeowner's insurance policy states that it covers personal property on an actual cash value (SEV) basis. If a sofa purchased for $1,000 5 years ago is damaged and has an estimated replacement cost of $800, how much will the insurance company likely pay? A. $800, B. $600, C. $500, D. $0. Answer: B. $600. Explanation: actual cash value is calculated as the replacement cost minus depreciation. If the sofa has depreciated significantly over the 5 years, assuming it is worth 40% of its original value, the payment would be E equals replacement cost. Depreciation. Depreciate equals the original cost. Estimated value equals 1000. 800 equals 200. Thus, the likely payout would be around $600 considering a typical depreciation factor. Wisconsin insurance laws require clarity on how a CV is calculated and applied in claims. Question 12. Topic: Personal liability coverage. Which of the following situations would be most likely covered under personal liability coverage of a homeowner's policy? A. Damage to the insured's own car during an accident. B. Injury to a guest while playing a game in the insured's backyard. C. Damage caused to a neighbor's property by the insured's child. D. A slip and fall accident occurring at a public park. Answer: B. Injury to a guest while playing a game in the insured's backyard. Explanation: personal liability coverage typically covers injuries to others that occur on the insured's property or due to their activities. Injuries to guests during recreational activities are common scenarios where liability coverage would apply. Options A and D do not involve coverage of liabilities, and option C could be considered but would depend on the specifics of the liability policy. Wisconsin law emphasizes the importance of clearly defining covered liabilities and circumstances in homeowners policies to protect both the insurer and the insured. Question 13. Topic: exclusions in homeowners policies. Which of the following is typically excluded from a standard homeowners policy? A. Vandalism. B. Earthquake damage. C. Fire damage. D. Theft. Answer: B. Earthquake damage. Explanation: standard homeowners policies typically exclude coverage for earthquakes. Homeowners in areas prone to earthquakes often need to purchase separate earthquake insurance. Options A, C, and D are generally covered under a standard homeowners policy unless specific exclusions apply. Wisconsin insurance regulations necessitate that insurers disclose these exclusions clearly to policyholders to prevent surprises during the claims process. Question 14. Scenario-based. Topic: water damage coverage scenario. A pipe bursts in a homeowner's bathroom, causing extensive water damage throughout the house. The homeowner files a claim under their homeowner's insurance. What type of coverage will most likely apply in this scenario? A. Flood insurance. B. Personal property coverage. C. Dwelling coverage. D. General liability coverage. Answer: C. Dwelling coverage. Explanation: dwelling coverage in a homeowner's insurance policy typically covers damage to the physical structure of the home, including damage from a burst pipe. Flood insurance would only be applicable if the damage were caused by an external flood, not internal plumbing issues. Personal property coverage would apply to the contents, and general liability would not apply in this case. Wisconsin statutes require clarity about what is covered under dwelling coverage, ensuring that policyholders understand the protections provided against water damage from plumbing failures. Question 15. Topic: umbrella insurance. What is the primary purpose of umbrella insurance coverage? A. To cover the cost of home repairs. B. To provide additional liability protection above underlying policies. C. To pay for medical expenses for the insured. D. To replace stolen personal property. Answer: B. To provide additional liability protection above underlying policies. Explanation: umbrella insurance provides excess liability coverage over and above the limits of other policies, such as homeowners or auto insurance. This means if a claim exceeds the primary policy's limits, the umbrella policy kicks in to cover the additional costs. Options A, C, and D do not accurately reflect the purpose of umbrella insurance. Wisconsin insurance laws require clear communication about the benefits and limits of umbrella policies to ensure that consumers are informed about their options for additional liability coverage. Question 16. Topic: deductibles. If a homeowner has a $1,000 deductible on their homeowner's insurance policy and experiences a $5,000 loss from a covered peril, how much will the insurance company pay? A. $4,000. B. $5,000. C. $1,000. D. $0. Answer A. $4,000. Explanation: the deductible is the amount the insured must pay out of pocket before the insurance coverage kicks in. In this case, the homeowner would pay the first $1,000 and the insurance company would pay the remaining $4,000, $5,000, $1,000. Wisconsin regulations emphasize the need for policyholders to understand how deductibles work and how they affect claims payouts. Question 17. Topic: coverage extensions. What does a loss of use provision cover in a homeowner's policy? A. Personal property losses. B. Losses related to the structure of the home. C. Additional living expenses incurred while the home is being repaired. D. Liability claims from guests. Answer: C. Additional living expenses incurred while the home is being repaired. Explanation: the loss of use provision, also known as additional living expenses, covers the costs incurred for temporary housing and related expenses when a home is uninhabitable due to a covered loss. This can include hotel stays, meal costs, and other necessary living expenses while repairs are made. The other options pertain to different aspects of coverage under a homeowner's policy. Wisconsin statutes require clear explanation of these benefits in homeowners insurance contracts. Question 18. Scenario-based. Topic: liability coverage limits. Scenario: John invites friends over for a barbecue. One friend slips on the wet deck and breaks an arm. John has a homeowner's policy with a personal liability limit of $300,000. How much will his insurance cover for the injury? A. Up to $300,000, depending on the policy terms. B. All medical expenses, regardless of policy limits. C. No coverage because the injury occurred during a social event. D. Only a portion of the expenses based on negligence. Answer: A. Up to $300,000, depending on the policy terms. Explanation: John's homeowner's policy will cover the liability claim up to the limit of his personal liability coverage, which is $300,000, as long as the incident falls under the covered risks of the policy. Coverage does not typically exclude injuries that occurred during social events. Options B and D misinterpret the liability limits, and C is incorrect, as most policies cover liability even during social gatherings. Wisconsin insurance regulations stipulate that homeowners must be made aware of their liability coverage limits and conditions. Question 19. Topic: subrogation. What is the purpose of subrogation in an insurance context? A. To increase the insured's coverage limits. B. To allow the insurer to pursue recovery from third parties responsible for the loss. C. To adjust premiums based on claims history. D. To provide additional coverage options to the insured. Answer: B. To allow the insurer to pursue recovery from third parties responsible for the loss. Explanation: subrogation is the process by which an insurance company seeks reimbursement from a third party that caused a loss after it has paid a claim to the insured. This helps the insurer recover some or all of the funds it paid out. Options A, C, and D do not accurately reflect the function of subrogation. Wisconsin laws regarding insurance claim practices and subrogation require that the rights of both the insurer and insured be clearly defined in policy documents. Question 20. Topic: property insurance exclusions. Which of the following is commonly excluded from standard property insurance policies? A. Fire damage. B. Mold damage from a slow leak. C. Theft of personal property. D. Windstorm damage. Answer: B. Mold damage from a slow leak. Explanation: mold damage due to gradual leaks is typically excluded from standard property insurance policies, while sudden and accidental damages like fire or windstorm damage are generally covered. Theft and fire damage are also covered unless specifically excluded by the policy. Wisconsin insurance regulations require that these exclusions be communicated clearly in the policy to prevent misunderstandings during claims processing. Question 21. Topic: insurance fraud. What is considered insurance fraud? A. Filing a claim for a covered loss. B. Providing false information to an insurer to obtain benefits. C. Neglecting to report a loss in a timely manner. D. Discussing claims with friends. Answer: B. Providing false information to an insurer to obtain benefits. Explanation: insurance fraud involves intentionally deceiving an insurer to gain benefits that one is not entitled to, such as exaggerating a loss or fabricating damages. Options A, C, and D do not constitute fraud. Wisconsin law takes insurance fraud seriously, imposing penalties for those who engage in deceptive practices. Question 22. Topic: exclusions in commercial policies. Which of the following is typically excluded in a standard commercial general liability (CGL) policy? A. Bodily injury caused by a product. B. Intentional acts of harm. C. Property damage to a client's property. D. Personal injury due to negligence. Answer: B. Intentional acts of harm. Explanation: CGL policies typically exclude coverage for injuries or damages caused by intentional acts. Coverage for bodily injury and property damage caused by business operations is usually included, subject to policy terms. Wisconsin insurance regulations require that exclusions be clearly stated in commercial policies to inform business owners of their coverage limitations. Question 23. Topic: personal property limits. What is the usual limit for jewelry coverage under a standard homeowner's insurance policy without a rider? A. $500. B. $1,000. C. $2,500. D. $5,000. Answer: C. $2,500. Explanation: most standard homeowners policies limit coverage for personal property like jewelry to around $2,500. For higher value items, policyholders are typically advised to obtain a rider or scheduled personal property endorsement. Options A. B and D do not reflect standard limits. Wisconsin insurance laws encourage policyholders to assess their personal property needs and adjust coverage accordingly. Question 24, scenario-based. Topic: coverage for business personal property. Scenario: Sarah runs a catering business from her home and has a homeowner's insurance policy. A fire damages her kitchen equipment. Will her homeowner's policy cover the damage to her equipment? A. Yes, as long as it was a covered peril. B. No, because business property is not covered under a standard homeowner's policy. C. Yes, if she files the claim under personal property. D. No, unless she has a business endorsement. Answer: B. No, because business property is not covered under a standard homeowner's policy. Explanation: homeowners' policies generally exclude coverage for business property. Sarah would need a business owner's policy or specific endorsements for coverage related to her catering business. Options A and C are incorrect based on the policy's standard exclusions, while D is partially correct as it suggests obtaining a business endorsement. Wisconsin regulations outline the importance of proper coverage for business-related activities and property. Question 25. Topic: bodily injury liability. In a car accident, if the insured is found liable for causing bodily injury to another driver and has a liability limit of $100,000 per person, how much will the insurance company pay if the injured party claims $120,000 in damages? A. $100,000. B. $120,000. C. $80,000. D. $0. Answer: A. $100,000. Explanation: the insurance company will pay up to the policy limit of $100,000 for bodily injury liability even if the claim exceeds that amount. The insured would be responsible for the remaining $20,000. This highlights the importance of having adequate liability limits to cover potential claims. Wisconsin insurance guidelines encourage consumers to evaluate their liability limits in personal auto policies. Question 26. Topic: flood insurance requirements. What is required for a homeowner to obtain flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program and FIP? A. Proof of prior flood damage. B. A specific federal disaster declaration. C. A flood zone determination. D. An existing homeowner's insurance policy. Answer: C. A flood zone determination. Explanation: to obtain flood insurance through an FIP, homeowners must have a flood zone determination that identifies whether their property is in a flood-prone area. Options A and B are incorrect as prior damage and disaster declarations are not prerequisites. Option D is also incorrect as flood insurance is separate from standard homeowners insurance. Wisconsin statutes require that homeowners be informed about flood insurance requirements, especially in high-risk areas. Question 27. Topic: homeowners insurance policy types. What type of homeowners insurance policy provides the broadest coverage? A. HO1. B. HO2. C. HO3. D. HO5. Answer: D. HO5. Explanation: the HO5 policy offers the most comprehensive coverage for personal property, covering all perils except those specifically excluded. HO3 also provides broad coverage but typically has more exclusions for personal property. Options A and B provide more limited coverage. Wisconsin insurance regulations emphasize the need for clarity in policy types and coverage offered to consumers. Question 28. Topic: named perils versus open perils. What is the main difference between a named perils policy and an open perils policy? A. Named perils cover specific risks, while open perils cover all risks except exclusions. B. Named perils cover all risks, while open perils cover only specific risks. C. Named perils have lower premiums than open perils. D. Open perils require a higher deductible than named perils. Answer: A. Named perils cover specific risks, while open perils cover all risks except exclusions. Explanation: named perils policies only cover risks explicitly listed in the policy, while open perils policies cover all risks unless they are specifically excluded. Options B, C, and D do not accurately describe the key differences. Wisconsin laws require insurers to clearly outline whether policies are named or open perils, ensuring consumers understand their coverage. Question 29, scenario-based. Topic: auto insurance coverage types. Scenario: Lisa is involved in an accident while driving her friend's car. Lisa has liability insurance but no collision coverage on her policy. Whose insurance will cover the damage to the car? A. Lisa's liability insurance. B. The friend's insurance. C. No insurance will cover it. D. Lisa's insurance. Answer: B. The friend's insurance. Explanation: Insurance for the vehicle being driven. The Friends insurance will typically cover the damages as liability coverage applies to the vehicle owner in this case. Lisa's liability insurance would cover any bodily injury she may have caused to others, but her lack of collision coverage means her insurance will not cover damage to the car itself. Wisconsin insurance guidelines clarify the responsibilities and coverage options when operating a vehicle not owned by the driver. Question 30. Topic: Premium determination factors. Which of the following factors typically does NOT influence the determination of insurance premiums? A. Age of the insured. B. Type of coverage selected. C. The insured's credit score. D. The insured's personal preferences. Answer: D. The insured's personal preferences. Explanation: while personal preferences may affect the choice of coverage, they do not directly influence the premium amount. Factors such as the insured's age, type of coverage, and credit score are significant determinants in premium calculations. Wisconsin insurance laws promote transparency regarding factors that can affect premium rates for policyholders.